High school and green, royal we culture we clean. Fi straighten up something that them lean with transparency from the agency of the I Supreme. Cosmic intuition and imitation from within. I'm another angel and on a wing like pigeon. Concept I accept of I origin, representing free-minded article brethren. Man without a woman is like a house without kitchen. People without them roots is like plants for edging. Everything perish without oxygen. Them a vibration, them a waves, and them a sound palm rhythm. Hey! Time for the lions. Tell them one story. Listen to the lion voice, yeah? Up.
Well, front to us, a son was born and a child was given.
I want to ask you a question. Have you got your book? Haile Selassie's Ethiopia Volume 1, The Rise of the Priest Warrior King. I've read the book in its entirety, and I must say it's very inspirational, very informative, and very historical, right?
Them call him Rastafari. When he was born, rain fall from sky. Them call him Rastafari. When he was grown in airplanes he fly. They call him Rastafari. Lion break the chain, weep not, don't cry. Them call him Rastafari. Read your Revelation chapter 5 verse 5. Then born near the city of Harar, the inspiration for Bob Marley's guitar. People crowd him like some big superstar. It no matter if England.
So the statement that I disagreed with is that whoever pays for your studio time owns the master. And I want to clarify, because even though it's not fully true, it's not fully incorrect either. What I would modify that statement is to say whoever pays for the studio time will have possession, legal possession of the masters.
Well, lion voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion voice.
Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Glory and honor in the name of his chosen queen, Empress Waziri Menen. My name is Kwasi Bansu, aka Dejazmatch Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Panafrican Happy Man. I'm an entertainment attorney, I'm an author, I'm an actionist, I'm an artist, and right now I am the host of the Lion Voice. And you see how I'm dressed, so you know that right now this is time for the Lion Law. This is our legal show, entertainment law that we do. And I want to just welcome you all. This is the Dejazmatch Kwasi ecosystem, a part of the Dejazmatch Kwasi ecosystem. I have to say, give thanks to the Lion Pride, who is now numbering 600 subscribers. So we have hit the 600 subscriber mark. We give thanks. Also have to big up the Lion Pride on Patreon, who were small in number, but we give thanks for those who have chosen to invest their hard-earned dollars in helping this platform to grow. Again, I give ultimate thanks to the Lion Pride Patreon. One brethren, one sister so far. But listen, when you're a content creator, you have to have an attitude of gratitude. A lot of us get caught up in you want the big numbers, you want this, you want that, and then you forget to be grateful for that which the Almighty has granted. So I have to every episode, big up the Lion Pride on Patreon, big up the Lion Pride. How do you become a part of the Lion Pride? If you subscribe, you are part of the Lion Pride. So join us. We're building something wonderful here. Now, that aside, I want to talk about the topic of this episode. I've been reaching out, trying to be more active on the social media, and I put, I saw a post. My feed, I have a lot of entertainment, law and entertainment, music business related posts, and there was a post there posted on the IG page of VS Gent. I will put up an image here, and it was a post by a brethren named Ray Daniels, who is a music executive, and the statement was that whoever pays for your studio time owns the master. So be careful when you're going into the studio. And I want to just, before I get into the intricacies, because I responded to the comment, that comment that I responded to has over 45, about 45 likes on it right now. I keep on getting this notification, so I realize this is something that touch a chord. And because I have the platform, the Lion Law, guess what I do? I have to make a video about it. So that's one of the benefits of having the Lion Law platform. We bring in these things that are happening in real time, real world topics and issues that relate to the entertainment law. And basically what I said in the post was that the statement in and of itself is not true, and I just want to make clear the overall what Mr. Daniels was saying was spot on, just in terms of having an awareness of when you're going into the studio, who's controlling and these things, and not going in blind or thinking that people are in there doing you a favor, making sure that your business is right on the front end. That's what I took away from it ultimately. But in the details, we just want to clarify this statement, because it's a statement I've heard before from clients and from just people, and it's not fully true. Now, what we want to make clear, and remember, we did a video on the power of copyright, so you can look into the Lion Log and look forward and see which episode it is. We'll put a link up on the screen. We did a episode on copyright where we explained the two types of copyright. And remember, when you're talking about a master recording, you're talking about an issue that relates to copyright. So there are two types of copyright. We talked about them. There's a composition copyright for the songwriters, and then there is the sound recording copyright, otherwise known as the master recording. So that unique version of the song that has been recorded, that master recording is typically what the record companies make money from. The composition recording is governed by the publishers. That's their bread and butter. So the statement that I disagreed with is that whoever pays for your studio time owns the master. And I want to clarify, because even though it's not fully true, it's not fully incorrect either. What I would modify that statement is to say whoever pays for the studio time will have possession, legal possession of the masters, meaning that until you either pay them for the physical copy or the file that has been created, nobody, if they're paying for the studio time, what they're paying for is the production of the sound recording. But it doesn't mean that they own the sound recording itself. And when I say own, that means that having the full ability to license, and we talk about the 6 bundles of rights that are afforded by copyright. So that to me entails ownership. And if you pay for the studio time, that does not give you access to that bundle of rights that come with copyright. You have possession over it, and you don't necessarily have to turn it over because you paid for it, is your thing. But you couldn't then go and license it out. And one of the things that we do as entertainment attorneys, I've drafted, I've represented record labels. I have record labels that I do represent. So one of the key components, and this is what I said in the post, one of the key components in a recording contract are the is that you're assigning all the rights in the master to the record company. This is the asset that the terminology in the industry is that they exploit. So this is the asset that they use and exploit in the industry. So this is why the record companies has these long agreements. One of the main provisions is to assume ownership of the master, because it's still embodying the tangible manifestation of your idea, which is the central concept that underpins all of copyright law. So it's very important to make that distinction. For copyright ownership to be transferred, it has to be done in writing. So unless there's a writing where you transfer that ownership to the person who paid the studio time, they will not have full ownership over that. So be aware of that. Now, is it semantics? It's important because we have to understand, because if you don't have possession, if they say, boy, you didn't pay, we're not giving it to you until you pay, you know, that's an issue. It can go to court, different things if there's a dispute there, but they do not have the ownership to fully utilize that master recording for sync license. Check out my episode on sync licensing, making music make money. They can't do those things just based on them paying alone. And if you are in the opposite side, let's change shoes. So if you are in the opposite side, so if I'm representing a record label or a production company, who that's their business, you want to get that artist to sign an agreement, either a production agreement or a recording contract that gives you the authorization to own those masters or to legally utilize, or as they would say in Babylon, exploit. I don't like that word sound, but that is the legal terminology, to exploit the master. So just be aware. I wanted to just make this video so that we could make that clarity. But again, I want to big up Mr. Ray Daniels, because I checked out his page. Definitely serious player in the music industry, and he's giving out a lot of game to people. But we just want to clarify these little points, because it's important that when we go into this industry that we understand exactly the rights that we have, and that can help us to know how to move and not to sign away these rights easily, or at least to know what's happening. Because a lot of us come to the table, we can't afford to pay for studio time, we can't afford to pay, but that doesn't mean that you've thrown away all of your rights as it relates to your composition, copyright, and the master recording. So again, this is very important. And remember, the sound recording is embodying that tangible manifestation of your work. So it falls squarely under the copyright law, and we just want to clarify that. So again, we give thanks for everyone. This is another episode of Lion Law. Make sure that if you have not done so, subscribe. We come every Wednesday with another episode. So if you're not a member yet, subscribe. We're dropping game. I'm bringing you entertainment law tidbits, because my community, Rastafari, where music would be our greatest export, we really don't have a lot of ownership. We don't really have a lot of understanding of the business. So I definitely want to bring that to the table from a Rastafari perspective. But this is the law, so of course it applies to all independent artists. We're building a beautiful ecosystem here, myself and the Lion Pride. So feel free to join us. You don't have to be Rastafari to come on this journey with us. I'm an entertainment attorney, author, actionist, author. All of them will find expression in this ecosystem and on this beautiful Lion network that we're building here on the YouTube, the second largest search engine on the planet. We have to be here because the time has come for the lions to tell their own story, and this is the Lion's Voice.
Iron Vice. Yeah, I'm a Gideon. Cataclysmic forces, good over evil. Yeah, for the ghetto youth, worldwide. Yeah. I see the youths nowadays, they growing up. Wanna know the truth, they wanna know what's up. They got no fear now, they'll call you bluff. They asking questions cause they had enough. Why? Some gone astray cause times is tough. Some walk with the machine, ready to bust. I'ma give you that things get dangerous. Down in the ghetto, things get dangerous. On the battlefield, things get dangerous. Them carry RPG, M16. Got a problem to wipe out your whole team. For American dream, them get scanned and lost. Them put us into the ghetto, try abandon us. Cause we the remnant of the first sons of Kush. Warrior tribes, we not the ones to push. Just look into them history, see we rebellious. That's cause them systems so unjust. Take the shackles and chains, change them to handcuffs. Release your physical frame, them want your brain. Them a vampire looking for blood to drain. Haile, Selassie come and break every chain. Bob Marley tell them, now we tell them again, yo. We tell them this ain't a game, but this a Armageddon, you got to mentally train. Yeah, I tell them this ain't a game, but this is heaven on earth, or go burn in the flames. Yeah, I tell them this ain't a game, I say I gotta play your hate cause some things gotta change. I tell them this ain't a game, but this a time for African people to rise. I tell them